The 49ers were robbed in the NFC Championship game. Yo, what's going on, everybody? This is Sammy J Reacts. Welcome back to my channel. And in today's video, we're going to be talking about the NFC Championship game that never was, the 49ers versus the Eagles. I'm back in podcast mode, so I'm just going to be talking off the cuff today. But you know what? I had a day to sleep on it. No more emotions involved in the game. I really need to go back on some comments I made in my previous video. But before we get into that, I do want to ask if you please hit that like button. I could really use one right now. If you feel my vibe, subscribe, hit that bell notification button to never miss one of my uploads so we can continue talking about what we love to watch. And that means 49er football, baby. But now let's talk about the game a little bit more. And we got to give credit to the Eagles, man. If you're a 49er fan listening to this, I know you're kind of, you feel like we were cheated and robbed of a game, but they deserve to win the game straight up. In my last video, it came off as emotional, and I'll be honest, I have a close friend who is an Eagles fan, and he was kind of getting under my skin. And then on top of that, there was just a bunch of other Eagles fans who were kind of pissing me off. Like, what I was trying to say in my last video, right, was if you're one of those Eagle fans, a bad Apple Eagle fan who is gloating and talking down on the 49ers, calling us frauds this entire time, those were the people that were pissing me off in the last video. But if you're a Philadelphia Eagles fan who's respectable and we're celebrating the win, and you were just proud of the fact that your Eagles made the Super Bowl, hey, who the hell am I to tell you not to celebrate? You know what I mean? Like, you should be celebrating that win. But it's really just the people that were gloating and, trying to rub it in our face that was rubbing me the wrong way. But like I said, a win is a win at the end of the day, and you got the win. And if you really come down to it and think about it, I had time to digest and really look through some of the plays and film. The Eagles dominated us on defense, straight up. If you look at the game, their offensive, first of all, I said going into the game, they currently have the best offensive line in pro sports. It's not even close. I went back and watched the game, and that's what I saw. I saw a dominating offensive line that was able to run the ball. That's why they didn't throw the ball as much as they needed to. They were really in 4-minute offense the entire game after they went up 2 scores, and they were just dominating on double-team blocks. Javon Kinlaw was getting killed in the run game, I might add. But hats off to all those dudes, man. Jordan Mailata was sitting on dudes. Jason Kelsey's the best center in the game. Landon Dickerson is a steal of a draft pick. Sumalu, I think is how you pronounce his name. He's had a damn good game too. Lane Johnson hasn't given up a sack all season and continues that. He had a great game against Nick Bosa. Once the dust is settled, the emotions are out of the way, and just look at it from a football perspective, the Eagles deserve to win the game. Now, obviously, it would have been much different if we had Brock Purdy, right? And that's kind of what we were hoping as NFL fans in general, like not just as a 49er fan, but we were just hoping to watch a good football game, a good, hotly contested game. What we got was, that's what I was trying to say in my last videos. We were robbed of a good game. Not that the 49ers themselves were robbed, but us as fans of the sport of football were robbed of a good game. And I think that's why you see a lot of frustration in 49er fans, is because it's that what if, right? It's like, what if he was in the game? But, if ifs were fifths, we'd all be drunk. It really sucks that you're just left with this helpless feeling like, damn, can I go put a helmet on and play quarterback? You know what I mean? But you're just stuck there having to watch Josh Johnson drop perfect snaps and have Christian McCaffrey play quarterback for a bit. Now, I do think Philly gets credit for that, because we were unable to block Hassan Reddick for much of the game. We were unable to block a lot of their players. There's a reason they had 70 sacks on the year. Their defensive line, while you can take advantage of them in the run game, their pass rush is undeniably the best in the league. 70 sacks for a reason. We're talking about Hassan Reddick, Brandon Graham, Javon Hargrave, obviously Fletcher Cox. They got dudes everywhere. Sweat. Like, it's insane. Their pass rush is crazy. So, honestly, that's what led to Brock Purdy getting hurt. Now, I've seen a lot of people try to blame that on Kyle Shanahan. Like, why would you block their best pass rusher with a backup tight end? We see that happen with Bosa all the time. It's just a part of play action bootleg when you're rolling out. Honestly, Brock Purdy, I think, there has to just feel the pressure. I know it's tough, but that's not his blind side. That is right side. He should probably see that, step up in the pocket, if not escape. He didn't. He held onto the ball a little bit too long because he probably had someone open when he threw the ball, and that led to the injury. I mean, that sucks. That's sports. At the end of the day, injuries, whether you like it or not, is a part of the game. I don't make the rules here. That's just what happens. And, unfortunately, that happened to the 49ers. So they knocked Brock Purdy out, and they get credit for that. I think they do. You never wish injury upon a player, obviously, and that's not the goal of a defense, is to hurt the quarterback. But if that just so happens because you're getting back there, that just so happens to happen. It is what it is, man. Like, there's nothing you could do about it. The injury gods weren't on our side. Credit to Philly. They played a hell of a game on defense. They played a hell of a game on offense. Like, I think it's okay for us to admit that they're a damn good football team, because if you wanted to lose to a football team, you'd want to lose to a damn good one, wouldn't you? But I do think it's fair as a 49er fan to let our frustrations out and really talk about the fact that this game was going to be competitive. You could tell the way the defense came out, the way D'Amico Ryans had them boys ready to play on defense, and what he had schemed up, it was going to be a hotly contested, tight game. I thought on that first drive, they were executing perfectly. They had a great game plan of trying to keep Jalen Hurts in the pocket and being disciplined, playing gap sound, and not allowing him to scramble, and if he did, keeping contained and not over pursuing. And I mean, hey, you held him to a 4th and 3, and if Kyle Shanahan gets a better angle at the catch, which wasn't a catch, and he challenges it, we're looking at a completely different game there. You know what I mean? And sure, in hindsight, you can say, oh, a catch in the first quarter doesn't really change anything of the outcome. We still scored 31 points, but I think it does. It's the first quarter. They wouldn't have gotten any points on that drive, not even 3. But I hate playing this if-then game because, well, sure, we stopped them. Does Brock Purdy still get hurt? Like, you never know. You know what I mean? That's why I don't really like playing this if-then. So at the end of the day, he made the catch. It counts as a catch, even though it wasn't because he got up. So that's when I knew Kyle Shanahan should have challenged because he got up so fast and was like, let's hurry up, get to the line, and call some BS play real quick. Like me personally, I haven't played football. That to me, if I was the coach of the 49ers, I'm throwing that flag expeditiously. You know what I mean? I'm tossing that bitch like I'm freaking Joe Montana in the 80s. You know what I mean? But I can see why Kyle didn't challenge it because he said he didn't get the angles that we got at home up on the screen. But, it is what it is. Like I said, no point in talking about it any further. So that to me was big play number 1 that didn't go in the Niners' favor. But again, you allowed that touchdown off of a double team. Javon Kinlaw got bullied again for that touchdown. You could have held him to 3 still after that catch. As much as it pains me to say as a Niner fan, credit the Eagles on that one. And of course, Niner fans feel like they were cheated by the refs because of the 11 penalties. Now, me personally, I think there's only 2 that we can really talk about that we have like a legitimate argument to make. The first one being the pass interference call on Jimmy Ward on 3rd and 7 when the game was tied 7-7. Like, to me, that's just a call you don't make in the NFC Championship game. Like, they're both fighting within 5 yards of the line of scrimmage, I might add. Now, if you want to say Jimmy Ward held him, A.J. Brown was pushing off as well. A.J. Brown spun himself. Jimmy Ward did not spin him. A.J. Brown spun himself because Jimmy Ward did a good job in rerouting him. But the crazy thing is they call it pass interference when if it's a foul at all, which, like I said, is debatable, would be holding, not pass interference. But that can go 50-50. I can see if you're an Eagles fan, you would say, no, that was a foul. If you're a Niner fan, obviously you're going to say that wasn't a foul. So, But the other one I think you can legitimately argue was the roughing the punter call. He was blocked into the punter and he didn't land on the plant leg. I thought the rule was that if you hit the plant leg, then it's roughing the punter, but he didn't. The punter actually jumped over him. But hey, that's one of those, I guess they felt like it was roughing, so they called it. It is what it is. But I feel like at that point in the game, it was pretty much over anyway. I think this came after Josh Johnson had dropped a perfect shotgun snap and basically handed the ball over to Hassan Reddick. So, that one, I think the pass interference was probably the biggest one, to be honest. But yeah, as a 49er fan, it sucks to see them lose the game and, not really put up much of a fight because they couldn't. The Eagles did a good job in knocking both of our quarterbacks out. So, credit to the Eagles, man. At the end of the day, they played a hell of a game. They ran the ball down our throats. Now, granted, if you know anything about football, of course they were able to run the ball so effectively because our defense was out there most of the time because our offense couldn't sustain a drive and give them a rest. But yeah, man, those are pretty much my last thoughts on this game. There's not really much to break down other than what went wrong for the 49ers. But again, I really just wanted to highlight and give credit to the Philadelphia Eagles organization, coaching staff, players. They had a great game plan. They executed well. Sure, they got a couple of injury lucks in their favor, but like I said, they're a really fun football team to watch, and I don't have a dog in the race in the Super Bowl. Patrick Mahomes is my favorite player outside of the 49ers, so, I just love watching him play. I think he's the Steph Curry of the NFL, most entertaining, probably the most talented quarterback I've ever seen in my life. But I do really like Jalen Hurts. I love this young Eagles offense, this really good defense. It's going to be a fun Super Bowl matchup to watch, and I can't wait to watch it, man. If you're a Philadelphia Eagles fan, man, put a comment down below and just like, let's stop all the fight, man. Y'all deserve the win, all right? Like, just leave me alone, please. But hey, it's gonna be fun trash talking. I got this game circled for next year. I think we play Philly next year, so it's gonna be a fun game. And we're gonna continue messing with Rocky Statue, man, because we beat y'all last year when we messed with it, and I'm sure we lost this year, but that's not a thing. Hey, but respect to Rocky. Please do not take any of these comments out of context. I'm trying to be as respectable as possible. In the last video I tried, but the emotions were high. But like I said, at the end of the day, shout out to Philly, shout out to the Eagles. Y'all deserve to go to the Super Bowl. And good luck. Y'all going to be playing a good team. Should be a fun game to watch. I can't wait for it. But Niner gang, we're going to be back. Don't worry. We got a great young football team. If we could just stay healthy, that's the one thing, man. Just stay healthy. Please, for the love of God, please let us not have to go through 5 quarterbacks again. But stay tuned because I got a lot of videos breaking down the upcoming 49ers offseason. We're going to be going through the free agents, the draft, and the quarterback situation. It's going to be a fun one. And I can't wait to keep covering this team because I love it. So Niner faithful, keep the faith. They call us the faithful for a reason. We're going to be back there. Don't worry. I love y'all. And I'm going to leave you like I always do with a bang, bang Niner gang. Yay! Peace, love, and positivity, everybody. Peace.